In the last video, I talked about emotions and highlighted the body-mind connection that links what we feel to what we think and vice versa. Now, what you must realize is, children always absorb what you feel and think. You just cannot hide it, even if you try really hard. What you feel and think is reflected in your behavior and body language. Try to understand the responses you give, the reactions you have, and what triggers them. Otherwise, you keep repeating what is not serving you or your children. We've been so much conditioned since the day we were born that it's hard for us to take a step back and identify what is actually going on. To help you reach that point, the point where you are focused on what truly matters, the point where you get advantage of what comes and respond in a calm and assertive way. I'll talk in more detail about the mind's barriers that you create to justify your behavior. And let me tell you straightforward, the mind is where all the BS is. Remember, mind and body are deeply connected. Basically, the mind controls everything, but only if we let it to. The only way out is to be able to command your thoughts. And for that, we need to go deeper. So let's jump into the first of these barriers created inside your mind: limiting beliefs and stories. I will devote an entire video to beliefs since they are really powerful, but for now, I'll just bring some light on the subject. A belief is something you recognize as true, something your mind came up with when experiencing an event where there was some kind of emotion involved. When children experience something in which a parent or a significant adult in their life is involved, emotions are felt with more intensity. An example of a limiting belief might be, and this happened to me. When you were a child, your mother used to tell you you knew nothing about life. You still had to grow. Therefore, the reason was always on her side. This might have not been expressed like this, but for sure it was the message she was passing on to you. This message led you to build a belief inside your mind that only adults like parents and teachers are allowed to speak their truth, and children's opinions are not worthy. What happens regarding the relationship you are now building with your children if you continue to have such a belief? Will you pay attention when they are expressing their ideas? Of course not. And who's the Mrs. or Mr. Right? You, nobody else. And what do you think will happen to your relationship? Will it be strengthened or will it be weakened? This is just an example of a belief that has passed on to you and that you are passing on to your children as well, if not aware and in charge. Following a limiting belief, there is usually a story to back it up. A story for the example given could be, children need to have more life experience and be old enough to be considerate. Who the hell pays attention to what kids are saying anyway? If I did it, people would say I'm crazy. This story could live inside your head or you could say it out loud. Both ways are harmful to children as they are creating in the brain the connections that will help them succeed in the future. Limiting beliefs and stories definitely are not what they need. And you know what? Beliefs have a ripple effect. Taking the example given here that the younger you are, the less your opinion matters, how do you think people with this belief will treat a younger person? Maybe this is why even to this day, children are not considered as they really deserve. Yes, they have fewer life experiences. So what? Most of them have conditioned us to fail. Why do you think we have so many blocks and fears that prevent us from moving ahead? Instead, children are more open and aligned with the universal energy of abundance and possibility. When facing a challenge with your children, take a moment to catch what is going on in your mind. Is it following blindly what was passed on to you and creating stories around it? Or is it open to what is coming and receiving the gift of the moment, being able to create more empowering and supportive approaches for both you and your children? Let me know in the comments below. To your success, Isa.